since I came back to the United States in 1962 at the age of 5 years old. After my father died, my aunts and my uncles brought me and my family and my mom, my brothers here to the city of Bridgeport. Uh, and we arrived at the P.T. Barnum Housing Projects. I grew up there, lived there for almost 24, 25 years. And then from there, I got married. And 1982, I moved to Massachusetts.
Oh, great. And now you work as an RSS, a recovery support specialist at Greater Bridgeport Mental Health. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? All right.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Edgar Diaz.
Okay, good deals.
Yeah.
I'm glad you decided to do my film about mental health, addiction, and basically, I'm not. I'll just get a little bit of your story and how you've ended up where you're at. I don't want to go too far in the past, but um, tell me, when did you first start experiencing mental health issues? Okay. Hello.
Hello,
Could I have your name?
my name is Melina Bland.
Very nice name. I'm glad you're doing this interview for my film called Mental Salvation. Personally, you have had issues with both mental health and addiction, right?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I started using drugs at a very young age. In particular, at 8, 9 years old, I started sniffing glue, and one thing graduated to the next, which it was drinking alcohol and then smoking weed in the early 70s. And then when I discovered heroin at the age of 14,
Mm.
now realizing that it was an addictive substance. Nobody ever told me that it was addictive. I was just doing it because my friends were doing it. However,
Yeah, it's
after,
different back then. Different times. And we don't know. We didn't know as much as we do now.
no. I had no idea that the drug that I was liking was going to become an addiction that was going to affect me for the rest of my life.
And that's one of the most powerful drugs that are addicting. That's on top one of the leading drugs that people have a hard time getting off of.
Yeah, heroin is very, very addicting, not only mentally, but then all of a sudden you get this obsession.
Yeah.
And then not only you're dealing with it mentally, but also physically because of the withdrawals that the body craves for the drug. You have to have drug in order to be functional.
Yeah, personally, I suffer from both mental health and addiction, and my addiction, I'm mainly alcoholic, and that would lead to other issues. One was cocaine. I ended up doing that, and but the cocaine, the alcohol was the kind of the old saying, gateway drug, and that was it. But it got to a point where I had to stop drinking, and I stopped the cocaine, and then I did marijuana, and some LSD, but those were never issues with me. Not, but the cocaine was addicting. I enjoyed that. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. It was tough to get off of. It was a lot of, but the alcohol I was forced to, because I literally my insides were hurting, so I had to stop drinking. It's been 13 years since I've been sober. So
Amen.
yeah. Now, did you get involved in any narcotics, drugs, alcohol?
Yeah, I used to sell drugs when I was young,
Sell drugs,
but then I started smoking, cracking weed together.
cracking weed. Okay.
Then I did just PCP.
PCP. Yeah, that's.
Just
But
dipping and dabbing with different drugs.
yeah, well, those are some pretty heavy drugs. I mean, PCPs. That's a big one. It's and how do you? I mean, I know a little bit about PCP. I never done PCP, but how did you get off it? How did you get off the drugs?
Uh, I I had got out of jail 3 years ago.
Oh, tell me a little bit about that.
So I did 4 years.
And what did you? Yeah.
You know, I changed my life around.
Yeah.
I got out.
And could I ask you why did you go to jail?
Well, they had blamed me for doing a burglary,
Oh.
but they made up charges on me.
So you didn't do it. You didn't do it. You were using pretty heavy at the time.
I
Your
started.
height, were you using a lot?
I was using for many years. I started using when I was 18.
18.
Um, I stopped in 2014 to 2017. 2018, I started using again. That's when I fell into some years of depression.
Yeah.
And I finally got out September 20th, 2021. And I've been clean ever since.
That's great. And how did you, I mean, the drugs are expensive. Did you just, how did you manage to get the money for the drugs?
I was using some of the money I was getting from my disability, and I was selling things in other ways I choose not to talk about.
Okay, we won't
But
we won't talk about that. But yeah, you do what. But the reason I brought it up was because for me, I would scrounge whatever I can, just to get the alcohol, to get the pills, or to get the
yeah, I did
cocaine.
when I started drinking too, because I never used to drink. I started drinking in 2018, and it was bad at home. Yeah,
The drinking, yeah,
drinking was bad.
drinking
I had to have my drink all the time. I even like sometimes I drink so much I don't even know where I was or how I got where I was at. And I had to have it first thing in the morning. So I used to like scrounge around for change, you know.
And how about your family? How it says from what I've known you for a while. I know you for a couple of years, and you seem like you're really close to your family, or you want to be close. And I think you've lately become closer to your family. And how does your family fit into your whole recovery, I should say?
Well, but my family members and my children now, I put them through a lot.
Oh,
I put them through a lot, and over the years, and my children. So some of my family members, they're supportive to me right now, and I think others, they love me, but you got to get them time. But for the overall of it, yeah, I have family members helping me, and I have some of them back in my life, and those who they love me from afar, and I just give it to God. He'll bring all of them back to me. But I'm in a better place than I was 2 years ago with my family.
But they got trust you again. What's your average? What's your duty on an average day? What do you what's an average day for your life being an RSS?
The average day for me, after we have our morning staff meetings, we have morning staff meetings every morning from 8:30 to 9:30. That is going over all the clients, certain activities where clients needs immediate attention and stuff. But I write my own schedule of what people I'm going to go to visit at their homes. It depends. It varies. It varies from checking on them, make sure that they have taken their medications. If they have a doctor's appointment, I take them to the doctor's appointment. If they need food in the house, I would like to take them shopping, food shopping. If they don't have enough food stamp in their car, I take them to the food pantry. I also take them to the park. We go out there, we engage in conversation, specific needs, mental health, or alcohol or drug issues. We have some great conversations with our clients.
You must see a lot of stuff that the average everyday person doesn't see. How does that affect you?
Yeah, the most painful part of my job is when we have to paper somebody.
When you have to what?
Paper.
What's paper?
Paper is that if the client is decompensating, becoming more mentally ill, sick, he's not being rational, we could tell that something is wrong. I call the doctor, I call my supervisor first. Then we call the doctor, they come out, and then they assess the client themselves, and then we have to call the cops, and we have to call an ambulance, so they can be taken to the hospital. Many times they don't want to go to the hospital, but that's the nature of our work, and it's basically to save them, but they need help. And that's what I do. I encounter that a lot of times when I visit clients in their home. And that's why my job is so important, that me visiting their homes, make sure that they take their medication. I also deliver medications to clients. It's very important.
So I spend time at the mental health center. I'm a client, but I do some stipend work for a program called Push. What I've noticed is a lot of the clients, and like you were saying, deal with uh, mental health issues, but they also deal with addiction.
Yeah.
Now, you run a group called Double Trouble.
Double
Explain that a
Trouble
little
in
bit about
Recovery.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, Double Trouble in Recovery is a very, very important 12-step. The concept was derived from the NA and AA 12-step concept. The only difference that Double Trouble, the reason they call it Double Trouble, is for those individuals who live with mental illness and also an addiction with substance abuse.
I see.
So we discussed both of those in our Double Trouble group. They had 12 steps, just like NAA, but these 12 steps in Double Trouble is focused on mental illness and substance abuse, in which NA and AA do not discuss mental illness.
Mental health came first.
Mental health.
Yeah.
And how old were you?
I think I was about 9 or 10, but I didn't let nobody
That's
know.
pretty young. I mean, usually mental health kicks in around 19, 20. It did for me.
Yeah, but I didn't let nobody in my family know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of like what happened with me. I was able to get by. I mean, I don't want to say fake it, but I was able to kind of to mask it. I guess masking would be a better word. So, what kind of symptoms did you feel?
I started hearing voices at first, and
Hearing voices.
every now and again I would hear them, but I didn't pay them no mind.
Well, what did these voices
No,
say?
it was like little taunts, like telling me things about myself that wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't very nice.
Yeah, I understand. And did that lead down the road to you
No,
abuse?
I carried that for a while, for a long time, until I got in my 20s. After I started using, I just kept saying to myself, these things isn't normal.
Yeah.
So I finally went down to Bridgeport Mental Health. At that time, it was called what was it called? I forgot. It's called DEC now, but
Okay.
I went down there.
So you've been in the program for a
Yeah.
long time. Yeah. When did you first start experiencing mental health issues?
I was like 18 years old.
18, that's kind of average age.
Yeah, had had injury.
Head injury. What happened?
I had got hit. This guy got hit by a punch.
Punch. You got a fist fight?
Yeah, he sucker punched me.
Wow.
And I felt back in my head.
Were you hit on the concrete or?
So then I was in coma for a little while. And that's when I started getting mentally ill and voices and stuff. And I was going in and out of the hospital, psych hospitals and stuff. I got on some medication. I suffered a little depression too.
Yeah. I'm sure you did. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. I'm sure you experienced some of that. Was it tough? I mean,
Yeah, it was tough. I seen people jumping off the chair onto the bottom floor, trying to commit suicide.
oh wow.
Blood everywhere. that affected me a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you seem really good today. So I mean, I think, for some people, prison helps them, and then for other people, prison makes them worse. It's like some people, they get hardened up in prison and they come out worse than they did when they went in there. Other people turn their lives around to find maybe Jesus or now I know you're very religious on that topic. You go to church regularly, right?
I mean, I've been going to church since I was a little boy.
Okay.
Well, I used to go in and out of jail, in and out of jail. And this is my longest time I've been. These last 4 years I've been dead.
Yeah. Well,
I'm tired of being on the streets.
yeah.
Changed my life around.
Well, you're doing it. I mean, I've known you for a couple of years, and you're very, very friendly, um, friendly, respectful person. At least towards me, you always have been, and that probably goes back to your. I know you have a passion for. Uh, um, oh, now what religion are you again?
Pentecostal.
Pentecostal. Okay. Yeah. So that's great that you have that. That you have that. Because there's so many people out there who don't have any faith or anything. Like I was when I for me, I get my I don't go to church too often, but I get my spirituality from music and film. What finally got you out of it? What was it? Just
When I finally stopped, because
you?
just 16 months I got.
Oh, you were
No, just 16 months of sobriety. That I had.
sobriety.
Well, this time, what got me out was my mental illness took a hold of me, and I was using too much drugs,
Yeah,
and I wasn't on my medication, and
do it.
I fell into a deep depression, and I barricaded myself in my home. What got me out of it was I turned my life over to Christ,
Okay.
and I went to a place for mental health evaluations, and then I went to a program and got back into taking my meds and got back on track and started going to church and being around positive people and just keeping myself busy around positive people and doing positive things and working towards it because I don't ever want to go through that again.
I don't want you to go through that again. I can't imagine. I mean, to because it sounds like you really hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
And if you didn't get the help at the time when you needed to, I mean, who knows what could happen. Definitely paranoid. I think that's part of my mental illness. I suffer from bipolar, and they call it schizoaffective disorder. It's not schizophrenia. I don't hear voices. But I get paranoid and fearful. Tell me a little bit more about your mental health. What were you diagnosed with?
I was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia. So you actually hear the voice in your head. That's got to tough record.
That's tough.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, because for me, my mind just races. It just goes miles a minute. Like I have ADD too. I did when I was younger. And so I'm always like, my mind's just all over the place, but I don't hear the actual voices. Sometimes, once in the blue moon, I'll hear some voices, and where did they come from? But I imagine hearing those all the time, it's gotta be tough because it's almost like you gotta block that out, and that you got to hear those voices over and over. You gotta block that out, and I think for me. When recently my mind was racing and I was messed up in the head, drinking would calm my brain, doing the drugs would calm. It's all about self-medicating. It wasn't until I take a lot of medicine myself, it wasn't until I got on the medicine, a right cocktail of medicine that I was able to straighten all that out. So. I'd like to learn a little bit about your treatment now. You told me you spent some time at Fairfield Hills.
Yep,
Now, were you
1979.
1979. Now, were you a client there?
I was a client.
Tell me about that, because
Yeah.
that's part of my Fairfield Hills is my parents live up in Newtown, and I've been that's going to be part of the movie too, Fairfield Hills, and it's an amazing. I mean, they're redoing it. It's beautiful. They're refurnishing the whole place, but tell me about some experiences you had there, at Fairfield Hills.
Well, Fairfield Hills was by chance. Again, a friend of mine told me because in the early 70s there was not that much treatment here in Bridgeport Hill. There was methadone here, methadone there, but not so much. But anyway, I heard from a friend about Fairfield Hills, and I was able to call, and I went in for the detox in the buildings called Eden House and Dependency on Narcotics, Lighthouse, something like that. It was called, but the program was Eden House. So I went in there for the detox, and then I heard about that they had a program downstairs, and a counselor, they asked me if I would be interested. I said, sure. Well, a counselor came up to interview me and told me, okay, we'd like to have you down. It was a 16-month program. So I went down. It was a very tough program. I mean, hardcore program. There you get yelled at. You get waking up early in the morning. You got to do the whole dishes for everybody. Everybody's dishes. You had to clean the floor with a toothbrush. I stayed there 8 months.
It's really too bad because today they're all closing. I mean, you go back to the hills, it's like a campus.
No, it was a beautiful place. I mean, it was strange. This ghost type of aura. Yeah. The building, the dark brown brick buildings, looked like a prison system, so to speak. But it was a beautiful place on the outside.
But there's rumors always been that the place was haunted. Did you experience any sounds or images, or do you know anyone who might have?
No, I'm glad I did. But I saw some strange things there because they had tunnels.
Tunnels?
Yeah, they had a tunnel system in Fairfield Hills. Tunnels that go to every building and also straight to the kitchen that we used to go get the breakfast in the big metal cart, get the coffee and the breakfast, and also lunch and dinner through the tunnel. Yeah.
Like the White House.
And it's eerie, man. And you see the building, it says the name of the building. But it was a good place, I just wish that I gave myself an opportunity to stay the whole 16 months. But they did help me. Like I said, I was able to stop smoking. I got into jogging. Attended school classes, education classes. When I came out here, I was feeling good. I took the test for becoming a Bridgeport lifeguard at Seaside Park.
They even say, they say some people who are really, there's it's a mixed bag. Some people who end up going to prison for a while, maybe like 5-10 years, they come out totally changed. Maybe they found God, Jesus, and then they're like reborn. And then you have other people who come out worse than they were. If it's okay to say, you had an ankle bracelet, right? Not like last week.
Yeah, 13.
Well, congratulations, that's a big one because that means, physically it's gone. So every time you take a shower, but mentally it's got to be like a freedom, a sense of like I'm free. I'm not tied into I'm not chained to that past, and now you can move on with your life. You're doing really good, and you just got your driver's license. That's great. And you're getting a car.
Yeah, I got a car.
That's wonderful.
I'm gonna register May 4th.
Wonderful. That's wonderful news. I'm so happy for you. You're really and you're in a relationship. You don't have to get into that, but that's what I hear. But so you have a lot of good stuff going for you, Edgar, and I didn't know you. I've only known you maybe 3 years, and I didn't know before the Edgar before, but I mean, I think you. From what I gather, you always had a good heart, and you know, it seems like being wrongfully accused of something that wouldn't surprise me because you just don't seem like the type that would, you know. I've had issues with people who've stolen from me, and you just don't seem like the type that would, you know, be stealing. It's just not your style. I don't. Yeah, so I'm sorry that happened to you, and maybe you get some. I mean, this isn't the place to talk about it, but some retribution. You know, maybe someone out there watching this could reach out and I don't know if you have a law case, legal case or something, but I don't know. I mean, I don't even know where to go about that. That's not my department, and I'm not gonna get into that. But I just I don't know. Is there anything that you want to say that you know get off your chest? Something that you want to say? Hopefully, this will go out to a lot of people, and it's you know, what I'm doing this for is to is for people who might be struggling and who want to you know change their life, turn their life around, and know that they're not the only one. There are other people out there. You know, we all have our different past and our different specific details, but we're all in it together. You know, and do you have anything to share that might help someone out there?
Yeah, you know, you gotta be willing to change. You know, you know, try to prayer helps as well. Prayer, religion. You know, sometimes you just gotta go through a hard time to change. You know, at the end, some gotta suffer homelessness, or, you know, bad experiences in the world and stuff. Just like me, you know, I had a lot of hard times in the streets, you know, ever since I was young. But I used to, you know, go to church every now and then, and prayer used to help as well. You know, you just gotta be willing to make a change, man, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not easy, you know. It depends who, the individual, you know, what you've been through, you know, so, yeah, that's why I changed my life around. I got tired of being homeless and all that. You know, being humiliated, you know, due to the fact of using drugs and stuff, man. You know, I see a lot of bad things, man.
I'm sure you have.
Yes, you know, but it's possible for everybody, you know. Just gotta be, you know, willing to make a change, you know.
I think you nailed it, Edgar. I think change is so important, and until people are willing to make that change, they're not going to learn, and hopefully, I mean, I don't want to say it's never too late, but I mean, at some point you got to change. Because if you don't,
You die out there.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. You said it for me, but Edgar, I want to thank you for doing this. I know it had to be tough, but you're helping people, and by just experiencing, by relaying your story and your experiences, and telling people out there what you've been through. So I want to thank you, and I wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you. God bless.
God bless you. And not only that, I mean, you probably helped a lot of people out there too. I mean, it goes both ways, and you know that's why I find I've been, you know, well, I first started going to Greater Bridgeport Mental Health around 2010, and so I've been there over 10 years, and I worked with Push for a while, and helping people out, running some groups like you were saying before. We run a gratitude club. We talk about what we're grateful for. We do
Writing class.
we do writing.
class.
We do a whole bunch of different groups, and you know, and then there's other people who run other groups, like someone who runs a group called Double Trouble, which is a great group, and that's deals with what we both have in common is the mental health and the addiction, whatever that addiction is. I mean, for me, I mean, I just, now I smoke a lot.
I don't even
That's the
smoke.
next thing
I
I got to
gave
work on.
everything up. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
smoking is a tough one, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that, I mean, you look great today.
Thank you.
And you're moving about wonderful, and I'm so glad that you're feeling healthy. And because health, whether it's in the mind or the body, it's all connected. And if one of them isn't strong, then the other one
Mm-hmm.
falls apart too. Or if one of them's real strong, the other one gets strong. So I think that mind, body, and spirit, and it's a cliche kind of, but it's true. Your soul, your body, your mental state, it's all connected, and your heart, and it's got to, and once you find that right spot, go with it. But um, I don't know, is there anything that you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to, because this is going to go out to a lot of people. And any advice you have for maybe someone who is in a similar situation that you were in before, where you're a heavy user,
Yeah.
you're just things are just a mess. I
Well,
mean, what?
I just want to say, I've been addicted to crack and cocaine, for since I was 18, and I just got clean in September 2021. So, it's a struggle, but don't give up on yourself. There's people out there that care, that can help you. And don't ever think, because I thought before, when I did relapse again, that I couldn't go back for help. That'll keep you out there. There's always somebody that's willing to help you, and that won't turn their backs on you. And if you're in a program like mental health, I'm pretty sure that they'll help you, because I thought that's what kept me away, because I was ashamed and I was embarrassed. That's what kept me away for that long 2.5 years. And I just got more and more depressed and didn't want to come out at all. So I encourage you, like, if you relapse, seek help as quickly as possible, so you won't hurt yourself or get depressed. And, turn to somebody that you trust, and it'll be all right, because recovery is possible. You just got to need it and want it.
No, Lynn, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and it sounds like you're on the right track.
Thank you.
And I only wish you the best. And you're gonna help a lot of people by being so. I mean, you're very honest, very revealing today, and I appreciate that. And open, and that's what it's about. We want to help people.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I just want to say to those of you who believe in God, you know, find a good church to go to. There are people there that can help you. They can, the brothers and sisters, find a good church. They're very supportive as well.
Yes, that's good advice. And there's a church for everyone. Just because for me, I get my spirituality through music. I love music, and I get, that's where I get my high from. Not the drugs or the alcohol, but the music, the and movies. I love film, obviously. This is the first film I'm making actually in 10 years, so it's kind of fun doing this. I love doing it. Bring back all the good old memories of my college days, and hopefully now I'm kind of myself much stronger than I was back in 2010, where I'm able to make more films and movies, and this one I'm doing kind of my own just because like it's personal to me. It's as much as I'm interviewing you and you're helping me out too. I'm able to. This is not just a one-way conversation. This isn't just Nellie Bland. This is Nellie and Jaimey. you know, and we're sharing, you know, stuff, and there's a lot of stuff I'm sharing that I haven't told a lot of people. So, and I think I'm going to reveal a lot in my film about myself, but I really want to get your story, and I think you. I wish the best for you, Nellie, and I consider
Thank
you a
you.
good friend. And thank you so much for doing this. And
Thank
I'll
you.
keep you updated on the progress of the film. And yeah, just everyone be safe out there, and you be safe. And
I will.
thank you again. And
Thank you.
talk to you soon.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier that you're a councilman.
I'm a city councilman of the city of Bridgeport, yes.
What's that
reason-
about? What's that about?
The reason I decided to run for city council because I was a community activist. I've been a community activist for many years about environmental justice, criminal justice, any other justice that advocate for. And I said, you know, well, let me run for city council. You know, I ran twice and lost, but I won the third time. Because one thing about the politics, can I talk about the politics?
Well, you talk anything.
You know,
you can talk anything you want.
One thing that, you know, what bothers me a lot, and it's so true, the word politician is synonymous with BSers, liars, and manipulators, and take advantage of the people. I've seen that here in Bridgeport. And I always said that's not the kind of person that I associate with.
And now you're established.
Yeah, and now the reason I wanted for is not because I don't have any ego in my DNA. I don't have any power seeking to fulfill any power in me. It's just something that is in my heart. I said, well, as a councilman, I could be a more powerful voice to advocate for the things that I believe in for the people in the community. In other words, be a voice for the voiceless. And I take my job very serious. Very.
I know that.
What man has a right to try to take a woman's right to reproductive health?
I know. And even if it's like,
And I'm a man. I had daughter, I had granddaughter, I have nieces, and I have sisters. Who the hell is a man think that because of their own religious beliefs or ideology to try to tell a woman what to do? Yet they're working with them every day. So that's the dark side.
it is, and it's getting darker than that.
And darker than that, but you see me, I talk about it. I call it out. I'm not afraid how people are going to perceive me when I speak my mind because you have to call it.
That's good. And what even gets me is you have a situation where these extremists like rape and incest, and they still say the woman should carry the baby.
No, they're saying that the baby should carry the baby. Well, I rather change it, rephrase it.
Yeah,
They tell
because it is a baby. Yeah.
They're telling a 10-year-old girl,
Yeah.
baby, to carry the baby that she was raped, either uncle or somebody. That's torture. And you know, that's why I'm there. I will continue to be there.
Well, keep doing. I mean, you know, keep doing what you've been doing because everyone likes you, and thank you so much for you know, just being open and honest. And I know people are going to like you when they see this. And I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah. And
You have anything else to say? You have anything?
What I would like to say is that I've been clean now 20 years.
That's excellent. That's
20 years.
20 years. That's wonderful, dude.
However, I was using heroin for 32. I still got 12 more years to be able to claim that half of that life back, but I'm only living one day at a time.